Hi, welcome back to our 21 question series of questions that we would ask an estate planning attorney if we were hiring one. So today we're going to continue that and ask the question, what will it cost my family to help settle out my estate after I pass away? So remember to like and subscribe to the channel so that you get all the notifications of when these questions and videos drop. Remember, this is our continuing series, and so I'm Scott Stork with Polaris Estate Planning and Elder Law. This is my partner, Raymond Chandler. And today, Ray, let's talk about what it costs to settle an estate when you pass away and why that's important.
All right. Well, the first thing that you need to know is that every estate has to be settled. And so a lot of times we hear about probate or non-probate or things like that, but that's not necessarily what we're looking at. We're looking at settling an estate whenever anyone passes away. And the reason every estate needs to be settled is there's work to be done, because no matter what documents you have, they don't have arms and feet and mouths. They can't write out claim forms. They can't talk to the financial institutions, things like that. Somebody has to be there to help you with that, or for you to do it. Somebody has to settle the estate out. So settlement is something that every estate goes through. It's more of a question, are we settling through probate or settling outside of probate? And so some of the things we talk about on settlement fees is the red flags again. And the big red flag is, well, nothing. And so if you hear, what's it going to cost my estate when I pass away, and you hear the term nothing, you may be giving the wrong answer. Because a lot of times when we hear that, what that means is that we don't have to go to probate. And so attorneys will talk and say, oh, well, it doesn't cost you won't have any probate fees, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, well, are you going to help with settlement? Well, no, because it doesn't go through probate. See, that's the problem, is we're focused on probate when we're answering that question as nothing. And so if the answer is nothing, it doesn't cost you anything at all, then that probably means you're not going to have any help at settlement. And that's the important part. Now, if you do have help at settlement, another red flag, again, is an hourly rate. So settlement can get pretty hairy. And some of it's not necessarily hard work in terms of just going back and forth with the forms and the claims and getting the paperwork done and getting the notifications done and getting all the questions answered and things of that nature. Some of those questions, quite honestly, have little to do with the legal side of things. It's just how to handle utilities and insurance and credit reports and things like that in settlement. And so it can get pretty time consuming. So an hourly rate is just going to increase those fees and increase those fees and increase those fees. And again, the problem with an hourly rate is you're not sure what it's going to cost your family until the very, very end, and it could get pretty expensive on that side. So always make sure that when you're hiring an estate planning attorney, that you have that conversation with them about what it's going to cost to settle the estate, what's going to be involved, and what that fee would be. So Scott, how would you handle that?
So what we tell our clients is we want your family to know what to do, and more importantly, we want them to know who to turn to for help. Because the worst time to try to figure out how to settle an estate is after somebody's passed away. And the fewer barriers there are to the family getting help, and the more that they have peace of mind that there's somebody there to help them, the better it's going to be to make that plan work in a way that it's supposed to. So we want families to know what to do, how to do it, and how it's to be paid for ahead of time so that there aren't surprises. And we want to include with that what the fee is probably going to be even when people sign up. So we actually have a cap that families can know that they won't be charged any more than to help them settle it out. And the reason we're able to do that is as we work with clients long term, all of those issues that tend to create real log jams and real potential problems in the settlement process typically are gone because we've done all the prep work at the beginning. And so when we set up a file as part of our lifespan client support program, we're going to let you know and set up that potential settlement fee before then. The family's not locked into it. They still actually have to hire us to do the settlement. But what we're going to say is, look, based on what your situation is, this is kind of how that would be charged for and what that looks like. Our fees are always known, they're always flat, and they're always not going to surprise you. That's the whole point, is not surprising you or your family with what that is.
So again, thank you for joining us this week as well. Continuing our 21 questions that we would ask an estate planning attorney if we were hiring someone. So really knowing what our fees are going to be is going to kind of wrap up our fee questions. Really understanding what you're getting out of what you're paying for. And so all those fee questions we've asked in the past couple of weeks have been about that just number one question of what am I getting for this fee? Because again, you could go, have a very low fee, but that could mean low service. You have a very high fee, and that might not still mean high service. So you want to make sure you know what you're getting, and that's the important part of all of that. Next time, though, we want to talk about the what ifs. So estate planning is all about what ifs. So next time we want to talk about what if something happens to you, my lawyer, while we're trying to do our estate plan, or after we've done our estate plan or something like that. So what if something happens to us? That's kind of the question that we want to get to there. So again, subscribe to the channel, like the video, get your notifications, make sure you know when that video comes out so you can hear that answer as well. So again, I'm Raymond Chandler with Polaris Estate Planning and Elder Law. This is my partner, Scott Stork. Glad you could join us. Leave any comments you'd like in the comment section, and we're glad to be here to help you.